Said not anymore. We're not doing this anymore. What happened to our kids? What happened to these kids? They were supposed to be smart. They're not smart. They don't care. Like Curtis said moments ago, most of them don't even know where the Palestinians are in Israel. They're the same kids that go to BLM rallies. They're just anti-Fa. They're bad kids looking for applause. They're rooting on universities all across the country. And what does it come back to, ladies and gentlemen? It comes back to one thing. I think
we will be here until the children and the missing adults from Kibbutz Be'eri are back home where they belong. We're standing here right now in conditions that are difficult, and you look around, you see the amount of love that's here for you, that's here for the people who have been taken, and you understand our commitment to making sure that every single hostage is returned to their families.
I grew up in Kibbutz Be'eri in the Negev between 1972 to 1984 until I finished my army. In my kibbutz, they kidnapped as hostages now 26 people, and 108 people died, a lot of people injured, and this is all from a population of 1,000 people. So thank you all for coming here. Everybody has to understand, because it could come to America. We have to stop them there from coming to here. We fight them all over. For many years, we fight them for all of us.
We're in the shadow of Cooper Union, where we saw a shanda take place the other day. U disgraziata, as we would say in Italian. Jewish students had to almost barricade themselves in the library as the rabble-rousers supporting the Palestinian cause started banging on the door saying, let us in, let us in. What do you think? Was to sit down and have some hamantashen and a cup of coffee and discuss your differences? And that happened in the city of New York. Other than Tel Aviv and Jerusalem combined, more Jews live in New York City than anywhere in the world, and it happened here. It happened here, which means it can happen anywhere. And I think before we even get started, we need to give a great round of applause to those construction workers in Forest Hills who confronted that guy who was walking around like he owned Forest Hills. I know, I lived there for a while. Yellowstone and Ingram. I got it without. Yellowstone and Ingram. Just turn it off. Yellowstone and Ingram. And so I know that's a predominantly Jewish community. And so these construction workers confronted a guy who thought he had a license to tear down these posters of those who were kidnapped and being held hostage. And they confronted him. And they said, hey, look, you want to support the Palestinian cause, that's your right. You want to fly a Palestinian flag, that's your right. But you don't go tearing down these posters, because that's an offense to everybody in America, Jew or Gentile. So at the conclusion of today, you don't listen to what you were told on Friday. Jews, stay home. Don't go to Brooklyn on Saturday. Remember how you were told that? Jews, don't go out for Shabbat. What? barricade yourself in your house, don't live a normal life, don't enjoy the freedom of the United States, surrender, capitulate, shake in fear and trepidation. Did you see that one Jewish guy at the start of that mob rally in support of Hamas? One Jewish man. It reminded me of Tiananmen Square. He had an Israeli flag and an American flag. They surrounded him and kept putting stickers on him. Genocide is Zionism. Zionism is genocide. He did not surrender. He did not retreat. He stood his ground. We need to find out who that man is. Exalt him, put him on a pedestal. He didn't listen to our officials who told him as a Jewish American, surrender, stay home.
Jews fight back!
And we need to find that Israeli man on the pedestrian bridge who looked at the crowd of thousands who were mocking the Jews, who were saying, long live Hamas. And he took them all on single-handedly. Because we know in Israel, Jews are tough, Jews fight back, and Jews don't take it.
Jews fight back! 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 Jews fight back!
Now in closing, first off, I want to thank the guardian angels who are here today and the police who are keeping us safe and secure from that mob that would like to drive you from the river to the sea. Are they saying Boca Raton? Where are you going to go? They want to drive you into the sea. And not just there, but here too. History could repeat itself. So understand, you got a mission. It can't just be Jews talking to Jews. You've got all these Gentiles on the sidelines. Mike Pence is no longer running for president. I'm going to reach out to him tomorrow. Why? He's a former talk show host in Indianapolis. We know one another. I'm going to ask him, Mike, you have connections with the evangelicals. They love Israel. They go to pilgrimage in Israel. They could put 1 million people in the streets next week because they love Israel and they love Jewish people. Remember, your fight is our fight. Those terrorists, whether they're Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Fatah, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, they're out to destroy Western civilization. They've said it over and over again. You stand in their way. But if they have their way, you think they're not coming for us? 1993, they came for us. 9/11, we were asleep. With the borders open, you know they're already here. They're waiting to clear the table for a third time. We must join in solidarity. It's us and we, Jews and Gentiles, for freedom, preserve Western civilization. And most importantly, as I looked into the eyes of some of those demonstrators talking about long live Hamas, I know who some of them are. I battled them in the summer of 2020 because they were Antifa. They were Black Lives Matter. And every time I've seen them, I said, hey, how come you don't have your gay liberation flag out at this rally? Your transgender flag? Because they chopped your freaking head off. The only place in the Middle East and the Persian Gulf where gays, lesbians, and transgenders are free to be who they are is Israel. Nowhere else. Israel is our #1 friend in the world. We will not forsake you. And let's make sure we get those posters back up. And how dare you tear a poster down? It's our freedom of speech. Put up your posters. But one thing, we are there to show the world that we're in solidarity to get those hostages back, to support the state of Israel, and ultimately to support the freedom and liberty of the United States of America. Israel and America together forever. Thank you.
Thank you for braving the conditions and showing not just New York City but the world that the Jewish people remain united, we remain strong, we remain unintimidated, unafraid, and we will fight and fight and fight till we eradicate Hamas and destroy all these animals that are ruining all of our cities and states and countries like Israel around the world. We will fight. I'm a kid from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in a pretty conservative Jewish home. My father was somewhere between conservative and Orthodox, my late father Harvey, my wife Daniela, who's here today, and my children Ava and Gabe. We are a very proud Jewish family. And I must tell you that almost 24 days ago, that Saturday, October the 7th, Israel's version of 9/11, changed my life, rocked my world, to the point now we went to Shabbat dinner a couple of weeks ago at Temple and almost went to challah making yesterday at the temple as well. We've now become, here's what Hamas did, you bastards. You brought the Jew out in me. I can't wait to go back to temple now and take on these bastards.
Cool. We got tape to go hang it around. 4 straight, 7. That's it.
Cool. Thank you.
Can give to your friends. Cover the entire city. Okay.
So in the bags are posters of
The hostages that were
hostages.
taken, and we're gonna put them everywhere in New York.
We're gonna put I think there's 150 in each bag. So when it's not raining, we're gonna go around and put them out wherever we can.
To bring awareness. Unfortunately, a lot of them were ripped down by a lot of New Yorkers, you know, innocent civilians, children, 3 years old. So we're here to put them up and say, you will not silence us. These are innocent civilians, innocent Jews that were taken and kidnapped, and we're gonna bring awareness and we're gonna keep on putting the posters back up, and we're not gonna be silent.
They want us to be scared, but this is the opposite. We are more proud than we have ever been, and we are not afraid to be Jewish. We are proud, and we're never gonna stop standing up for what's right.
To show support for Israel and to demand an immediate release of all 220 hostages that are being held right now, including women and children and elderly people. We want them released immediately.
What do you think about the gathering today, the amount of people here in the rain?
I think it's a lot of rain, but you know what? We have a lot of energy, and I see a lot of Jewish flags, Israeli flags, and a lot of energy, and I'm proud to be here. I'm going to do my part until every single hostage gets released. I want to hear, you see these other rallies, I don't hear anyone talking about the hostages. They talk about people in Gaza, they don't talk about the hostages that are being held. I'm going to be out here until we get those hostages home.
What do you think about anti-Semitism concerns in New York City?
It's horrifying. I'm a native New Yorker. I've never in my lifetime seen so much vicious, vile anti-Semitism as I have in the last few weeks. Not just in New York, but worldwide. It's shocking, it's vile. I think it's the worst outpouring of anti-Semitism probably since the Holocaust. It's disgusting.
All right. What's your name?
Tim.
Can you spell it?
T-I-M.
So why are you out here today? What are you here to support?
Well, first of all, I'm Jewish. So the attacks that took place over 3 weeks ago are very, very personal to me, And I've spent the majority of my radio show the last 3 weeks, the overwhelming majority of the #1 show in New York, mind you, talking about Israel and the reaction here in the United States, especially in our city, which has been really despicable with these universities and these pro-Palestinian rallies, which get upwards of 5,000-6,000 people. So it's a rainy day. You got kind of screwed a bit here, but I'm out here today, and I'm here to support the people of Israel and my Jewish people right here in New York City.
Cool. What do you think the reaction is in academia in New York?
I think it's despicable. I really do. It's not just New York. It's all over the country. There's now over 350 universities that have quote-unquote pro-Palestinian groups, and they're not pro-Palestinian groups. They're pro-Hamas. They're pro-murder. There's no such thing as pro-Palestinian. You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing about the innocent Palestinian people when they teach their second graders to hate and kill the Jews when they grow up. There's no such thing. So it's a really, really ugly blemish on our country today. What academia has become, not just in New York, at Columbia and NYU right here, but all over the country. We need to fix all of it. We need to get rid of Hamas, get rid of Hezbollah, clean up our academia here in the United States, and get back to being civil people, not animals.
What do you specifically want to get done here with the flags? What's the gathering about specifically?
This is all about exposure. Look, we may not get the 5,000 people that had in Beirut a couple of weeks ago, but we want people to know that the Jews are strong, we're united. Even on a rainy Sunday during the Jets and Giants game, we're out here right now. So it's about exposure and just letting people know that we're not going away, and we will fight for our people and our city, because the city right now is a mess with all these other rallies. So basically, we just want people to know that Jews are still united and very, very strong.
Awesome. Can you spell your name just for people who don't know?
Rosenberg. First name Sidney, Sidney.